Amid the escalating claims of voter registration fraud, will the voting on Election Day be fair? Let's go to a senior advisor to the Obama campaign, the chief strategist, David Axelrod. He's joining us from Hampshire University, the site of tonight's debate. David, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, Wolf.
What is the Obama campaign doing to make sure that it's fair, not only in Ohio, but elsewhere? Because there have been all these accusations leveled involving ACORN, this organization. What are you doing to try to fix all this?
Look, Wolf, we want to make sure that anybody who votes is eligible to vote, and that everybody who's eligible has the opportunity to vote. And if there are any irregularities in registration, they should be dealt with, and dealt with severely. But I'll tell you that we've got literally millions of people across this country who have registered, who are excited to participate in this election. I think we want to make sure that the polling places can accommodate all those who want to vote, and that everybody gets the chance to participate in what I think is the most important election we've faced in many, many, many years. The news from the stock market today underscored what everybody knows, which is this is a huge election, and we want people to participate.
And clearly a lot of folks concerned about a recession. Explain exactly, because there's been a lot of confusion out there. What has been, what is your campaign's relationship with this group, ACORN? Because a lot of folks out there are hearing all sorts of stuff, but give us what you're understanding, and I assume you understand it quite well. What exactly is your involvement with this group?
Well, let me be very clear. They're not involved with us in terms of our voter registration efforts. Well, our voter registration efforts are being conducted by our campaign. We've got hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of volunteers across the country working, registering people, going door to door, and that's how we're doing voter registration. ACORN did some, an affiliate of ACORN did some get out the vote work for us in the primaries, in some of the primaries, and that was the extent of it. I think the reason this is being raised now is that I fear that the Republicans are trying to set up for the kind of voter intimidation that we've seen in past elections, and that we don't want. As I said, we want to make sure everybody who votes is eligible, and we want to make sure that everybody who is eligible and wants to vote gets that opportunity, and we're not going to stand for voter intimidation of the sort we've seen orchestrated by Karl Rove in the past. And we've got lawyers mobilized all over the country to make sure that these elections are conducted fairly and openly. All
right, let's talk about the debate tonight. This is the final debate between Barack Obama and John McCain. He said the other day, McCain, he said he's going to whip Obama's, quote, you know what. I assume you've been practicing for some of that whipping that might take place tonight. Tell us how Senator Obama is going to react if, for example, and it's still a big if Senator McCain decides to raise the issue of William Ayers, the Weather Underground radical from the 60s.
Look, Senator Obama's happy to discuss any issue that arises. I will say, Wolf, that I think that the people who are tuning into this debate, and I think there'll be tens of millions of Americans watching tonight, are more interested in how these guys are going to whip rising unemployment, whip the crash on the stock market. We're going to strengthen incomes that have been declining. And I think that if Senator McCain wants to take the debate in a different direction, he does so at his own risk. These are, as I said at the beginning, serious times. We have big problems. People are looking for these candidates to offer positive, constructive answers about how we get out of the mess we're in. Senator Obama has them. They involve changing the direction we've been on for the last 8 years. Senator McCain, it's up to Senator McCain to defend his support of those policies and explain how a continuation of them is actually going to help us out of the mess we're in.
The Republican vice presidential nominee, Governor Sarah Palin, gave an interview to our affiliate up in New Hampshire today, WMUR, and she spelled out what she thought was fair in these final days of the campaign. Listen to Governor Palin.
I don't characterize at all our campaign being negative when we talk about someone's record and associations. That's what the electorate deserves to hear.
All right, do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that I have a problem with them. Look at the poll in the New York Times today. By a 2-to-1 margin, the American people believe that the that the McCain-Palin campaign has been negative, and that Senator Obama, by the same margin, people have said Senator Obama is talking about the issues. Again, I think they have to run their own campaign, and we'll run ours. We're going to talk about the future of this country and how we create jobs and growth, raise incomes, deal with the energy crisis, deal with the healthcare crisis, and if they want to do something else, that's their choice. But I think that the American people are not in the mood for that.